Very good morning, students. Welcome back to online session on structured query language SQL. In our last session, we started the concept of constraints in SQL, or simply we can say SQL constraints. So we said constraints are nothing but rules imposed on a particular column or imposed on the complete table. Okay, so these rules basically what they will do, they will restrict the data before it entered into the table. They will check for certain condition to meet, or they will check for valid data to be entered into the table. So for this I have explained an example as well. So example for voters table, there uh, there should be an restriction on the age of the voter should be older than 18 years, then only we will make the entry of that particular voter into the voters table. So this sort of condition we can impose, this sort of constraint rule we can impose on the table with the help of these SQL constraints. So in our previous session only we have defined what are constraints, and we said they will ensure the accuracy of the data which you are entering into the database. Okay, constraints could be either on a column or a complete table. Okay, the column level constraints are applied only to one or one column, whereas the table level constraints are applied to the entire column, entire table or whole table we said. Okay, so quickly, yeah, in today's session we'll be discussing the further, whatever left out in the last session, that we are going to wind up in today's session. So we said SQL constraints, they are not null constraints. Okay, this not null constraint, what it will do, it will ensure that a column cannot have null values. A particular column, if you are inputting some null value for that column, it will restrict that one, isn't it? Then default constraints, they will provide, if you're not inputting, if you're not giving any specific value for a particular column inside a particular record, so what they will do, simply they will give some default value over there. So this default constraint, it provides a default value for a column when none is specified. If you're not specifying any value, if you're not inputting any value for a particular cell in your database, so automatically a default value will be provided with this default constraint. This also we practiced in our last session. Then unique constraint, what it will do, it will ensure all the values in a column are to be different. Okay, suppose if you are entering, if you are making redundancy for a particular entry, for a particular column entry, simply what they will do, they will restrain that one, they will restrict that one. So they will ensure, these unique constraints, they will ensure that you need to enter all data values uniquely. Okay, different values you must enter. Okay, so up to this we had the discussion in our previous session, up to unique constraints. So in today's session we will be discussing about primary constraint. It is one of the important type of constraint in SQL. You need to have the clarity, you need to have the idea of using this constraint in SQL, structured query language. Primary key constraint, and believe me, whatever database you go, whatever type of database you go, this primary key constraint must exist over there. Okay, so that's the reason. Maybe other type of constraints, they will slightly differ, but this primary key constraint, it must exist, and having the clarity, having the idea of this primary key constraint is of importance. Okay, so a primary key is a field in the table which uniquely identifies each row, that is nothing but record in the database. This is something like with primary key constraint only, the complete record will be uniquely identified. So you have to choose such a column to make as primary key. Okay, see, I will give you an example, of what column we will make a primary key. So let us assume we have different students in our college. Okay, different students in all different 4 years of study. We have number of students, thousands of students, they are studying in our college. So now, so how we uniquely distinguish all these students? Can we go for their age? Not possible. There is a possibility that all the students can have, I mean, more than one student can have same age value, isn't it? Same age value. There is a possibility. So age column we cannot take as the primary key constraint. We cannot take the age column as to uniquely distinguish the students. Okay. So can we go for their address? It is also not possible. Okay. If two persons from the same, if two students, they are coming from the same address, if they are coming from the same house, then again, what will happen? We will have same address value for two students. Like if they are brothers, okay, if they are brothers, then what we will have? We'll have the same parent details, same contact numbers, same what we call address values if they are brothers. Okay, so again, these things like parent details, parent name, mobile number, address, all these things we cannot take as primary key value. Okay, because primary key, it must identify, it must distinguish the student from others. Okay, that's the reason all these constraints, I mean, even names, we can have two students with same name. Even names we cannot take as primary key. So what is going to help us over here in order to distinguish the students, in the sense their IDs, isn't it? Their IDs, their roll numbers, basically what the university is providing, their roll numbers, which are very much helpful in order to uniquely identify the students. So where we have to impose this primary key now in a table? So we have to impose this primary key on the roll numbers of the students, or if you are creating a customer table, on the customer IDs, because these are going to be different for all the customers. These IDs, customer IDs, are going to be different for all the customers. So this primary key, it should not be null. When you are imposing this primary key on a table, it will not accept null values. It will not accept null values. It should be what? It should contain a value always. It should contain a value always. Primary key must contain unique values, not only not null, but also it should contain unique values. So it is, we can say, this primary key constraint, we can say it is a combination of not null and unique constraint. It is a combination of not null and unique constraint. Not only this, it is going to have some extra properties as well. Very soon you will understand, you will realize that one also. Primary key constraint, it is a combination of not null and unique constraints, and not only this, it is also going to have some extra properties, extra features that very soon we are going to discuss. And moreover, not null constraints you can have on more than one column. I mean, unique constraints you can have on more than one column, but whereas this primary key constraints, there can be only one primary key which should exist inside your table when created. There should be only one primary key. You cannot have more than one primary key. Of course, you can employ the primary key on multiple columns. You can put multiple columns like CID and CNAME. CID and CNAME on both the columns also you can impose this primary key, but you must I mean, when you are creating like this, we call it as a composite key. When you are keeping more than one column inside the primary key, we call it as composite key. So composite key entries must be unique. You don't think that two students are having same name, but their roll numbers are different, isn't it? So we collectively take it as an entry. Inside the composite key, we collectively take it as an entry. So for a particular roll number, the student name needs to be this only. If that roll number you are using for other student, what will happen? Again, it will make an error over there. So only one roll number for one student. If you try to take the same roll number for other student, what will happen? It will give an error over there. So likewise, composite key, collectively it will give. Collectively you can put inside the primary key. Okay. if a table has a primary key defined on any field, then there cannot be two records having the same values of that field. Just now I have given this explanation to you. Collectively, it will check for the uniqueness. Okay, if a particular a roll number is assigned to some student, that same roll number it cannot be assigned to other students. See, DBMS, you need some sort of thinking ability. So how the records are differing and how the records we are manipulating, we are imposing constraints, all these things you need to have some effort to think. Hopefully you understood. So this is about primary key. We said a primary key is a field in a table which uniquely identifies each row or record in a table, in a database table. So primary key, it needs to be unique and not null, and you can have only one primary key inside your table. You can impose this primary key on multiple records, so we simply call it as composite key, and in terms of composite key only, it is going to uniquely identify all the values if you are imposing a composite key. Hope you understood. So here, how we can create a primary key on a table, so that we see practically. So again, at the time of creation of the table, see, I am creating over here a table with name customer. So what I have done, a table with name customer, and it is having some 5 records, 5 fields. So my table name is customer with CID, CNAME, CAGE, CAddress, CSalary. So 5 entries, I mean 5 fields, 5 columns I have in this particular table, and I am imposing the primary key, on CID. So quickly we go. CID is nothing but customer ID. We go to the database and we do this practice. So this is my database. So here what we have to do, yes. So first let's just connect to the database. Okay. So ISL CSE001 and the password ISL CSE001. I got connected. Okay, now you see what entries we have into the database, because I didn't checked. Select star from tab. It is listing 2 tables, employee table and customers table. So I will delete that customer table. So drop table customers. Okay, so table got dropped. Now select star from tab. It is not listing. So now what I will do, I will create that table. I will create that customers table. See over here how I'm doing. So create a table customers, create table customers. Okay, with 5 IDs. CID, the data type is int, and we said it should not be null, not null. Then we have, yeah, not null, it is a single, not null. Then we have CNAME varchar2 of not null, CNAME varchar2 of 20, and we said this is should be not null. Then we have CAGE int not null, CAGE int not null. Okay, after that we have CSalary decimal, CSalary decimal of 18 to 18 comma 2. Okay, then we have, yeah, imposing primary key. So like this you have to write primary key on CID. So now CID will become the primary key. CID will become the primary key. So just hit the enter key. It is giving some error, missing right parenthesis. Yeah, where exactly we are missing? Create table customers. Here we opened one parenthesis, and CID int not null, CNAME varchar2 20 not null, CAGE int not null, CSalary decimal 18 to, okay, then primary key. Have we taken any extra parenthesis over here? I guess not. We have not taken any extra parenthesis, so it is not working. Yeah, maybe this is error. Primary key, we should not have space over here. No, it is also not there. Missing right parenthesis. So maybe this is the error. Not null, it must have spaces in between. Yeah, here also again primary key, it must have space in between. Yeah, table created. As you can see, the error what I got is this not null. It is not a single word, but you have to give spaces in between. Okay, create table customer CID int not null. So just you can, I mean, by these errors you can learn all these things. So not null, and here also for this not null you have to give space. Here also not null, you have to give space. Last in my last video also we practiced all these things. Just as a refreshment I am doing. And this primary key of, again you have to give the space in between, primary key of CID. So now what will happen? For this CID customer ID, we are imposing the primary key only on one particular column. So now what will happen? So whenever you try to input duplicate values for this CID, you will get error. Or whenever you try to enforce not, I mean, null value for the CID, you will get error. So quickly you see. So can we have more primary keys? Okay, first we just go and we see how we do the insert operation into this table, and I will try to make that CID empty. Okay, so what I am saying, insert into table, insert into table name customers of, so I will not enter CID, so just I'm making other columns. C name I'm doing the entry, C age it should not be empty, so C age I'm doing the entry. Only two entries I'm doing. Okay, CID C name C name CH values of what values I'm entering. For C name I'm inputting some Albert, and for C age I'm inputting 29 years. So just close this parenthesis and put the semicolon and hit the enter key. See, insert not null. Okay, cannot insert null into this database, this table, and this CID. So it is giving error on CID, as you can see. ISL CSC 001, this is my database, customers is my table, and CID is my column. So in this particular column, cannot insert null, it is saying. Cannot insert null, it is saying, because we tried to enforce null over there. Into the CID, we tried to enforce null, so we got that error. We got that error. So simply what I will do, the same statement, same insert statement. Now what I am doing, I am taking CID also. So here instead of making it as null, what I am doing, 1001 ID I am taking. 1001 ID I am taking for that Albert. Okay, now you hit the enter key, one row created, as you can see. One row created. Now you go and check, select star from customers. It is listing that one. Okay, see salary, as you can see it is empty. So now what I will do, I will try to insert another record, okay, with same customer ID, but name I will make different. Okay, uh, John, and age I will make something different over here, like 32 years. Hit the enter key. See, again, unique constraint, because we have not employed any unique constraint, but it is saying unique constraint violated. Unique constraint violated. So primary key, it is null. It is a combination of two things. Null key error we got over here, and now it is showing unique constraint error, because 1001 we repeatedly tried to insert into that table. So simply make it as 1002 now. 1002, it will create a record. Now one row created. So quickly go and see, select star from customers. Simply go and see. Yeah, now we have two records into this one, 1001, 1002. It is a primary key constraint. It is a primary key constraint. So having table created, okay, we'll go to the next slide and we see. So having table created to impose this primary key on a particular column or on a particular field, we can go for this alter table command. Okay, so what I will do now, so simply I will delete that table, drop table customers got deleted, dropped. So again I will create the table, but I will not put primary key into it. So primary key I am removing. So this is my table. Table got created. So now what I will do, yeah, after creating the table, I will try to insert the value. So 1001 John, I'm inserting one value. So it will immediately accept. Because there is no primary key on CID, it should be not null. Only that condition we have imposed. So next thing, I'm making it as 1001 only, but with different name, Albert. Hit the enter key. Another row created because it is not a primary key now. So it is accepting 1001 two times. So now just go and see into the table what we have. Select star from customers. Hit the enter key. See 1001 two times entries we have. So now can I impose, using alter command, can I impose the primary key on this particular column? Let's just see what type of error it will give us. So alter table customers, then what we have, alter table customers at primary key, primary key of, on what, CID. So can it accept like this? It is saying cannot validate, primary key violated. The reason for this CID, we have duplicate values. That's the reason it is not accepting the customer primary key on this customer ID. Hope you understood. So primary key violated, it is saying. If you want to impose primary key on a already created table, if you want to impose the primary key on a already existing table, simply make sure that whatever column you are trying to impose the primary key, it should not have any null values, because primary key, it is a not null, it has to satisfy the not null constraint as well, and it should have all unique values because it has to satisfy the unique key constraint as well. So both the constraints it has to satisfy your primary key. So just make sure that you should not have any duplicate values as well as any null values when you are imposing the primary key. Just now we have seen when this CID it is having duplicate values, immediately your database is giving an error that there is a violation on primary key. So it cannot impose the primary key on this particular column. So now what I will do, I will use the update table command, and then I will try to modify this particular thing. Okay, update table, table name is customers, set CID equals to 1002, where I will take the name column because Albert is different, right? Where CName equals to, we have to put inside single quotations because it is a string, Albert, like this. Update table customers. So I'm updating the table customer. I'm setting the value CID to 1002, where CName is equals to Albert. Hit the enter key. Yeah, I think invalid table name directly. There is no need of table over here, I guess. So update customers, set, yes, one row updated. So there is no need of this table keyword. Simply put update customers, set CID equals to 1002, where CName equals to Albert. Now you go and see, select star from customers. What entries we have over here? 1001, 1002. Wonderful. Now we can apply the primary key on this particular table using the alt table command. So that you type now alt table. Here we type now that one, alt table customers at, where it is, add primary key of CID. Alt table customers at primary key on CID. Hopefully it will add now. We just see what error we will get. Here it should be semicolon. Hit the enter key, table altered. That means the primary key successfully got added. So description on what? Description on customer. So it will show not null only, I guess. Customers. Yeah, it is showing not null. As you can see, CID, it will show only not null. Primary key like that, it will not give any special thing. Okay. So in this way, the primary key can be imposed. So here I have written the note. If you read this note, the same thing, I mean just now whatever I have explained, that same thing I have written over here. If the alter table statement is used, if you are using alter table, if you are using alter table statement to add the primary key, the primary key columns should have already been declared to null values. It should be before the creation of this primary key, it should be a null, it should not contain null values when the table was first created. So it should have not null constraint already imposed on it. Then only you can put the primary key. This is if you are updating, if you are altering the table for the primary key. But if you are imposing the primary key at the time of creation of the table, no need to have this sort of constraint. Okay, so hopefully you understood. So quickly you go and see what other things we have. Okay, this is yeah, creating a composite key we just discussed, because it is somewhat complicated stuff. We just discussed afterwards in our upcoming sessions, because we again going to discuss about composite keys. Over there I will give the full clarity on this composite key, because if I explain now at this level you will get confused. Okay, so that's the reason we go for this composite. Composite key is nothing but simply applying the primary key on multiple columns. See, over here I applied my primary key on two columns, that is CID and CNAME. Two columns I have imposed the primary key. So as my commitment, we'll discuss in future. So the next thing, yeah, this is the same thing, how we can add the constraint, composite key constraint when the table is already existing using the alter table command. So then we have the foreign key. It is also one of the, see, primary key, foreign key, check constraint. These three are very, very important. You need to focus on these three. Okay. Okay, so quickly go and see the foreign key constraint. A foreign key is a key used to link two tables. So this is something having a relation between multiple tables. Okay, having a relation between multiple tables. Okay, so a foreign key is a key used to link two tables together. This is something called as a referencing key as well. So sometimes we also call this foreign key as a referencing key. Okay, so what we do generally, we'll have a reference from other table. So let us say I will give a perfect scenario to understand this foreign key constraint. So okay, in some shopping malls, like if you are aware of this metro shopping mall, so in our Hyderabad city, I think we have limited metros over here. Okay, if somebody of you heard about this metro, the concept over there, it is very simple. You need to have the membership in order to do any purchase, in order to get any goods from that metro shopping mall. What you need to have the membership. So what they will do, they will create a table, customers table in their database. So if you are taking the membership, is nothing but you are having the entry into that customers table. You will be having the entry. You are getting your details enrolled into that customers table. So once you have your details enrolled into that customers table, you can do the purchase. That is nothing but you can place the orders for that metro. You can place the orders for that metro. So simply whenever you are placing an order into that metro shopping mall, what they will do, they will create an order. Okay, they will create an order, whatever you are placing. So when you are placing the, I mean, who are eligible for placing the order? If you have the customer membership, if you have the customer ID, then only you are supposed to do the orders. Okay, isn't it? So over here, if you consider two different tables, if you consider two different tables, one is customers table and the other one is orders table. What we have? Customers table we have, and the orders table we have. Here you can see this is my customers table and this is my orders table. So whatever order I am placing, for that order there should be an entry into the customer. So over here, whatever order I am placing, immediately it will check for customer ID over here, customer ID over here, and that customer ID should match with a customer ID inside customers table. Then only I can place the order. If somebody else, if some customer who is not having any ID over here, if he is approaching the orders, he is approaching the mall for orders, immediately what will happen? It will show you the customer is not registered. Customer is not registered with us. In that way, we are imposing the relation between these two tables. The orders table, whenever you are inputting some customer ID over here, it will immediately go and check into the customers table whether that ID, customer ID, is existing in the table or not. That customer ID is existing in the customer table or not. If the customer ID is existing into the customer table, then only he can places the orders. Then only that customer places the order. Otherwise, it will simply disallow that customer from placing the orders. Okay. So concept is very simple. We are having a relationship between multiple tables. Over here, the orders table is going to check for the customer's ID into the customer's table. So over here, in order to practice this foreign key, we need to have two tables. One is customers and the other one is orders table. So quickly I will go and I will create, and over there I will explain with more clarity. So let's just discuss what concepts we have over here. So see, a foreign key constraint used to link two tables together. So just now I have explained how we are linking two tables. This is something also called as the referencing key, because over here orders table is referencing customer ID from customer table. So that's the reason we are calling foreign key as a referencing key also. A foreign key is a column or a combination of column whose values must match a primary key in a different table. So whatever column as reference key you are taking, it should go to some other table and match with primary key only. The restriction over here, you see, the column whatever you are referencing into other table, that other table column must be a primary key. You cannot impose the primary key. You cannot impose the foreign key. You cannot reference the foreign key from other table on a normal column. It must be a primary key column. Remember this one. It must be a primary key column. Then only you can take that column as a foreign key into other table. Hopefully you understood. So the relationship between two table matches the primary key in one table with a foreign key in the second table. In one table it is going to be a primary key, and in other table that same primary key will become the foreign key. Okay. If a table has a primary key defined on multiple fields, then you cannot have two records having the same values of that fields. We already discussed this. The composite key, it should be unique. The meaning is exactly same over here. The composite key, it should be unique. That's it. So this example we discussed. So now we go and create. So over here we are assuming, yeah, in this only we are assuming that customer table is already existing. So even if it is not existing, let's just create that one. So I think it is already created. So select star from customers. Yeah, it is having. We are having the customers table, and the primary key we have already imposed on CID. So this CID we can take as a primary key into orders table. So now I'm creating orders table. Create table with name orders. Okay, create table with name orders followed by order ID, OID, order ID int not null column. Then we have order date, at what time you are taking order date. So yeah, we have date time. Okay, we need to be sure how to make the entry for this date time. So after discussing the data types, we will discuss this O date. Okay, order date. So simply I will take integer over here. Then we have, yeah, the customer ID. So over here I am taking full name, customer underscore ID, references, yeah, it should be int, and it should references customer ID, customers table CID, references, okay, customer stable of CID. So this customer stable CID, it is a primary key in customer stable. So this primary key we are taking it as a foreign key into order stable for this CID column, okay, for this customer ID column. Okay, then uh, order amount of a number we will take, because so many different data types we are using over here. After the discussion of data types, it's better to have it. So again, I'm making primary key of order ID. So I want all my order IDs to be unique. So I'm taking primary key on order ID. So this is something I'm using foreign key over here. This references is nothing but your foreign key. Foreign key means we are taking the reference of this customer ID column into, for this customer ID column, um, from the customer's table customer ID column into order ID customer ID column. So you see the difference over here. This reference we are taking over here. Hit the enter key, table created. So now who can place the order in orders table? Only these two customers, 1001 and 1002 customers can place the order inside the orders table. No other customer is allowed to place the order inside orders table. Let's just see that one. So insert into orders of what all I have to input, order ID, because it must need to be placed, order ID, then order date, O date, then we have customer ID, it must be placed, customer ID, then what else we have, order amount, O amount, then we have, that's it, O amount, last column. So, okay, orders values, try to impose the values. Order ID some 3001 I'm taking, then order date, okay, some 2nd February 2021 I'm taking, 2nd February 2021, okay, or 22nd February 2021. Okay, then what we have to put? We have to put the order amount. Order amount, how we can put? Some 12,000 rupees is my order amount. So can this, yeah, before that we have to put the customer ID. Customer ID in orders table. Customer ID I'm keeping, let us say 1004. Customer ID I'm keeping 1004. Then finally the order amount, that is 12,000 I'm keeping. So when I hit the enter key, see, order amount invalid identifier. So I did one mistake over here. When I created this order amount column, spelling mistake is there. OMOUT I have made. So that same thing I made. N I will remove. Okay, now you hit the enter key, see, integrity constraint violation, parent key violated, parent key not found. It is giving parent key not found. So now my customer table is the parent to this order table. because it is referencing the CID column from that customer's table, customer ID column from that customer's table. So that's the reason why I got this parent key not found error over here. Parent key not found error. So how we can get rid of this error in the sense, simply do the proper entry. So only the customers with IDs present inside the table can do the orders. Just now I said. So 1001 I am taking. So 1001 now he can places an order. He is having full rights to place an order. So when I hit the enter key with 1001, just see it is saying that one row got created. One row got created. So in this way, I mean, about it we'll discuss more in future, because many times we use these foreign keys. Okay, now you have this much of clarity whatever I have shown. In my future classes we are going to discuss more about these foreign keys. Okay, so quickly go and see. Yeah, this we discussed how giving an entry, customer ID entry which is not there in the customer's table will raise an exception, will raise an error, that also we have seen. So then if the table is already existing, if both the tables are already existing, and if and you don't have the foreign key between them, then using this alter table command you can impose the foreign key. You can impose the foreign key. See over here, alter table orders, because we are altering orders table, add foreign key on customer ID, references customer of ID. So like this you can add the foreign key using the alter table command when the table is already existing. If the table is not existing at the time of creation of the table, only you can impose the foreign key. So then we have the check constraint. So this check constraint, it exactly enables a condition to be checked for the value being entered into the database. So what it will do, it will impose a condition on a particular column. So that is something like having the age greater than 18 years for a voters table, or if you want all your customers to be more than 18 years, okay, the age more than 18 years, then simply impose this constraint over here like this. So simply now go and drop the table, drop table. See, yeah, when you have the foreign key relationship between the tables, and if you try to drop the parent table, maybe you will get error, that we will see. Drop table customers. See, it is saying that you cannot drop the customer's table. You cannot drop the customer's table because it is having a foreign key relationship between customers and orders. See, unique or primary keys in table referenced by foreign keys. Referenced by foreign keys. That's the reason you cannot delete these customers. You cannot drop these customers. So first what I have to drop? I have to drop table orders. First you drop the child table. Child table. Then you can drop the parent table. Drop table customers. So this also you need to remember. This particular thing also you need to remember. All these things you will not see anywhere. Just by doing the practice you will come to know. Okay, so next thing what I have to do, I'm creating customers table, and where I want my age to be greater than 18 years. So with the help of check constraint I'm imposing that one. So how come it is? Create table, table name customers, okay, followed by values. First is CID int not null. Okay, then we are imposing another one, cname varchar 20, cname varchar 2 of 20. It should also be not null, we said. Then ch int of int not null, and age must be check. We have to impose check constraint. Check of ch must be greater than 18 years. Must be greater than 18 years. Check constraint is imposed. Then after c salary. Okay, c address is also there, that I don't want. C salary I'm imposing decimal of 18 comma 2. 18 comma 2. Then primary key also we have, yes, primary key on CID. primary key on CID. So now all this with this check constraint. Check constraint, if you are seeing check CH, so here I can hit the enter key. It is created, it has created the table. Create table customers CID int not null CNAME with 20 characters, and it should be not null, and C age it should be not null, as well as C age must be greater than 18 years. Okay, greater than 18 years. So now you cannot have a customer's age below 18 years. You cannot have a customer's age below 18 years. So quickly go and see insert into customers of CID you need to enter, CNAME you need to enter, CAGE you need to enter. Only 3. CSalary not mandatory, so I'm not entering. Values of CID, as it is a primary key, it should be unique. 1001 I'm taking. Name Albert I'm taking. Then CAGE, let us say some 12 years I'm taking. CAGE. So now hit the enter key. See, check constraint violated. Check constraint violated, because the age what we are taking over here, it is below 18 years. It is below 18 years. That's the reason why we got this error. Check constraint violated. So how we can overcome this one? Simply by inputting the age more than 18 years. So it is created a row. When I gave the age as 20 years, it has created a row. Like this you can remember. Check constraint, just to impose conditions at the time of data entry, just to impose conditions on columns, we can use this check constraint. It is very simple to understand. Okay, so if the table is already existing, you can use this alter table command to have this check constraint. And moreover, you must ensure that all the records whatever already created, they must have this condition satisfied. Even if one single record is not satisfying this particular condition, you cannot impose this condition. You cannot impose this condition. Let us say if you have already created the customers table with minimum ages like 6 years, 10 years, like that you have created. Okay, you have created the table and you have entries like 6 years, 10 years into that table. So now when you try to impose this alter table check constraint using alter table, then what will happen? It will check the column for that condition satisfying. Already you have the entries, so it will not, simply it will deny to impose that, it will deny to enforce that condition on the table. So just make sure all the entries before applying this check constraint, they must be greater than 18 years. Then only you can input, then only you can apply this check constraint on that table. Otherwise you will get error. Okay, so the next thing, index constraint, it is just with this index constraint we will see in our next class. Thank you very much, students.